The Thai Visa Cup. 33 racers, 13 races, over 13 days. Welcome everybody to Daytona Beach in Daytona Beach, Florida for today's race number 1 with the racers of the Thai Visa Cup. And it should be interesting. 65 laps. All on the beach of Daytona, the original Daytona track. This is the original Daytona track. It goes half road and half beach, and you're going to see it as we follow along one car. It's going to be very unique. You can see this is only practice, not a race. That's Hugh Pham. And you can read some of the names, so it's a lot better. This is a restart. But this is only practice, and you can see this track it's an oval, but it's a very thin oval, almost a football shape with very, very tight turns and almost drag strip-like straightaways in which high speeds can be obtained. It's all going to be about going very fast and being able to pass without flying into the ocean. That would be very interesting if a car just goes right into the water. And we're going to have to see that. So now let's head down, speed ahead to the very beginning here, the starting lineup. Let's go down now for the starting lineup. So here we go. Very simply, we're going to see the starting lineup here and all the different cars. And it's going to be a little bit more exposition here because this is the very first race that we have. So bear with me if it gets a little bit unique here. So we're moving our way up, all the way up to the front. Scotty Schultz, he gets the pit. So number 6, Scotty Schultz out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Former pitcher, University of Pittsburgh, gets pole position. He's number 1. Nathan Butler out of Michigan. He's second. And right now, Sam Hopper, his Daystar counterpart, is number 3. He's a librarian there, but he wants to win more than probably anybody here. Matt Brinker is 4th. He qualifies 4th, and using his real-life short track experience, he gets on to the dirt, and it's just his natural home here. Michael Koran, he's in Beijing. He's also from Mohawk. He's number 5. Going here, Doug Sandra. And Doug Sandra out of Baltimore, Maryland. He's going to be back here. This is the third one. I believe this is 5th. And Mark Cunningham will be 6th. Mark Cunningham out of Knock High School. John Oldfield out of Gilbert, Arizona. He lives in Gold Canyon. He will be number 7. And Zane Geist out of Central Pennsylvania. You can see it and make it out. It says Zane Geist there. That's number 8. Mike Kilroy out of the Butler Eagle is going to be 9, and a little bit of Pennsylvania-Arizona rivalry is Brandon Powell in a Globe 11 car. That's going to be number 10. 11th is Adam Velasco, another Arizona guy, but this time he's going to be paired up number 12 with Country Doc, and Country Doc will be trying to run this race. This is going to be a 65-lap race. Next up, Hugh Pham and Ronald Ray, as we call it, Osnan Acaso from the Philippines. And then you have Paul Slovick along with Michael Paul. So Michael Paul out of Arizona. Then Keith Novick. Keith Novick out of New Jersey. And Chris Mullins out of Ohio. So it's kind of like those two leaving Pennsylvania right in the middle. So Keith Novick out of Northern New Jersey, Chris Mullins out of Ohio. Brent Simmons, the number 7 car, the American flag right here, and Emilio Rocha. Emilio Rocha is back. He's the number 91 car. William Mullins, the 4-year-old. He is the youngest in this competition. He probably doesn't even know what's going on here, but that's okay. It's cars, it's racing, and it's pretty good. So William Mullins, number 45. Steve Eshenbaugh, number 27. He's from the United States. He's from Butler County, so he's ready to race here. Sammy Gonzales out of Arizona, number 65, and Brian Lippert, number 3 here. So John Galante out of Butler, he owns a Chick-fil-A. He will start back another row, and Bryce McMinn is steering the rear. So if you're not seeing yourself, you just qualified very poorly. Nick Leahy out of Australia, and Josh Johnson out of Knock High School. So that's probably the most polar opposites. Brooke Warren is back there, and Steve Bandi also too. Now you can't be saying that, hey, you're in the back, so you're not going to win. This is 65 laps. It's going to take over an hour. It's going to be a lot of pit stops. Spencer Kale, and rounding out Spencer Kale and John Geist in the back. But really, when you look at it, it is a big possibility that you just, as we take a look over here, it's really a big possibility. You don't want to be in the middle of the pack, really, because if the big one happens in the very first, if you're in the front, of course you're going to miss it. If you're in the back, then you're like, hey, well, no big deal. So taking a look really quickly, the actual qualifying, there was less than a second, a little bit more than a second, 151.3 and 151. So it's just all about positioning and pits and who can survive, really. So qualifying, we're not talking about many seconds. And we're about to go. So here's drivers, start your engines, and we'll start the pace lap, and we're going to get underway.
Drivers, start your engines.
Oh, and here we go. And they're going to start, and here come the roar of the engines from the different NASCARs around. And starting on the beach, here they go for their pace lap. So you're only going to get a few here as the pace car is way, way ahead. And the cars are on the beach. It's going to be very interesting to see, especially on a long sort of beach as the pace car goes in. And they go, it's very filed up, very, very good. It's kind of like a parade lap as you see the different cars filing up. They will, again, they're going to spread out. There's 65 laps to this race, 65. So it's going to take about an hour and a half to get done. And this is the first lap of the first race of the season. We're going to tell you all about the point scoring. It's very, very simple. It's a lot of numbers, and it's high numbers. The math is the hardest part, but understanding it's very simple. And we're about ready to go, and we could be close to being underway as Schultz and Butler. And it looks like they're going, ready to go. They are accelerating as fast as they can. There's Scotty Schultz. And we're underway. They passed the start-finish line, very much not really defined. And Schultz is going to be first. Nathan Butler is going to be second. Going wide, Brinker is third. Sam Hopper is fourth. And Michael Koran is fifth. Doug Sandra is sixth. Here as we begin, you see all the cars. This is turn number 1, and this is always a big one. And it is a slight turn here, but as they get more and more, you want to see if any of these cars are going to just start hitting each other or flipping or doing something. But it's probably not going to be that way. It's a lot of slowing down. You might see a lot of fast cars in the back hitting the rear ends or something like that, a little bumping, rubbings racing. But Schultz maintains the lead right now. It is Schultz number 6. It's Nathan Butler number 8. They're going to be fighting, and Nathan Butler taking the lead. And number 1, this is what it looks like from the helicopter cam here. You see past back here, see Butler bringing out a little bit of a lead on the straightaway. It looks like Matt Brinker is coming up to second place. Michael Koran is number 23. He's in the pink card. Sam Hopper is 5th. And Doug Sandra here on the first long straightaway. You see their positioning. It is different. It is a lot different. Doug Sandra as they're starting to thin out a little bit. This is the biggest turn here. The inside, if you can get inside, you might take away a little bit of that slipstream. And it looks like Nathan Butler is still getting first place, but Doug Sandra has actually come up. Remember, every lap you lead is big because it's bonus points. And as we go out, we're going to have a couple laps where we're bunched up, and then we'll thin out and we'll look at the battles in the back. But here comes Nathan Butler right now. It's not going to be the most exciting race in the world, but it is going to be very fast because of the surface and because of the straightaways. So Scotty Schultz here. It's a 4 miles going all around in this track, and it is double file right here at the very beginning as Scotty Schultz. It's a lot of positioning. It is a lot of going off is Brandon Powell a little bit early, and he's going to lose some positions here as he goes off. So he went off the track and into the dirt. So right now this is Nathan Butler. And we look around, going back here, back to the middle. You can see the dirt flying everywhere. Kilroy back there, Cunningham, and Oldfield and Zane Geist. But see, Brandon Powell has lost a lot of positions. He went off the main road and hit that dirt and just fell down. That's the biggest thing. When you go on that straightaway on the far side, here comes Powell again. He's going out to try and make a big pass, trying to hit a slipstream, and he can't do it, but Cunningham comes out here trying to get positioning. They're feeling each other out here in the first couple laps. And here in lap number 3, this is where it gets interesting. If you got inside, you're really big, as John Oldfield is making himself up, getting himself up. Still bunched up. And here comes Cunningham now. I mean, it's going to be big going into the pits. It's going to be big there because that's where you're going to get most of the separation. In fact, this first race is probably, as a lot of people say, going to be probably one of the most boring races. Because the speed is low and it's a long track. It is not exactly, as you can see, Mark Cunningham from the helicopter here. You know, it is not exactly the fastest, and it's an oval. It's a lot about positioning. It really is when you make your move and how you do it. Right now, Scotty Schultz has an 800th of a second. Oh, look at the wreck! Oh, there's a wreck right there! We gotta go back! Oh my goodness, a big wreck! And let's see, a big wreck. It went over to the side, and there are some cars that went out. We're trying to find it. We saw it in the very bottom, and Brandon Powell was in that wreck. And he comes back. It was a big wreck. We gotta take a look. We gotta rewind that. Don't worry, this thing stays live. Let's watch Brandon Powell was a wreck, and Brandon Powell going back, he got hit on the side. The thing is, when you wreck here, you lose positions. You can't get out. There are no yellows. Remember that there are no yellows on this. So taking a look, he lost. He has not been having a good race at all. So Brandon Powell right now taking a look at what caused that early incident. There it is, him and Sam Hopper. And it looked like a few, so let's see what happens here. Remember, the race is still going live. It looks like, I don't know. Oh, it was Zane Geist who came up. Sam Hopper took a lot of damage. Zane Geist came up. We were telling you about that accordion effect. And our first major incident, we're just hoping Sam Hopper can keep going. Sam Hopper was looking good. And John Galante has the lead. It looks like Sam Hopper's in the pits. I'm not sure if he's going to be retired or not. But here comes John Galante. Galante is last place. And they're fighting for first now. It looks like Michael Koran. Michael Koran against Scotty Schultz here early. And that is big. So an incident early on, and the pack is starting to thin out. As we're in lap number 4, a big incident, and Sam Hopper could be done. We're going to have to take a look. You can look in the upper left and take a look at some of the positioning in your upper left, you can see that Schultz and Koran are fighting for the lead. And Mark Cunningham, who was second, has dropped down to third. Matt Brinker, he's taking the inside position, and Brinker could be going for the lead, and Cunningham cuts him off. And Cunningham cuts him off here as everybody is positioning now. You got to be careful. A lot of aggressiveness coming around here as Koran is in first. And Brinker is coming around. Mike Kilroy has moved all the way up. And Kilroy was seventh at the last time. He's fifth now. And there's that accordion effect we were talking about. You go fast and it thins out, and you go to the curves, and all of a sudden everybody bunches up. Oh, there's 3 wide on a 2. Oh, look at this. It's 3 wide. This could be an incident. This will be very unique. Mark Cunningham is stuck, and he finally gets ahead of Matt Brinker, and Brinker will go to 4th. So we're in lap number 5. It's very early. Everybody thinning out. Taking a look in the upper left portion of your screen, that's going to be the ticker. And every so often, we're going to move it to show you. If you know your number, you'll see where you are. We're going to also go back and show all the different cars and where everybody is. Already 3 retired. So Brandon Powell is done. Zane Geist is done. It looks like Sam Hopper is out, and he is racing. So in that incident, Brandon Powell is done. There was a wreck there. We showed it to you. Zane Geist caused that, and he's done also. And I forget who number 25 is. We got to take a look there. Number 25 also done. We're going to take a look basically at the standings here. Who is 25? Oh, Ronald Ray. And Ronald Ray is done after that. So Sam Hopper having some damage off that early incident. Zane Geist came back, and Zane Geist, here comes Paul Slovick all the way up. He was back there in qualifying, and he's going to be second and third place. So he's going to be third on the inside. If you get that inside, you are gold. If you take that inside. So let's take a look at some of these drivers as we go. This is lap number 7 coming up. Lap number 6, actually. So we have Michael Koran first. And Scott Schultz is battling for the lead as they go around the first turn of lap number 6. A lot of jockeying for positioning. This is actually one of the harder races to call because short track, it's so easy. Everybody is just right there. And oh, there's another one! And it looks like Paul Slovick is done. He got spun out. And that first turn is terrible because you got all that speed coming off. And we're going to take a look right there. He gets spun out. He was 4th place. And we're going to take a look. Oh, my goodness. That was tough. And still in the incident here. We're going to take a look back. Still in the race. And he has joined the group again, but we got to take a look at what happened here. That was a tough one. It was 4th place, spun out, and you lose all that. See, it seems like you're only X amount. Oh, it looks like he got off the track. And let's see what happened here. He goes inside to cut. Oh, Doug Sandra hit him. Cut Doug Sandra off, and you know, from Baltimore, Maryland, you cut him off, he's just going to go right through you. That's the way they do it in Baltimore, and well, when you see a Pittsburgh logo and you're from Baltimore, you keep going. So as we rejoin live action all the way up, I'm telling you right now, Paul Slovick making his way back. He's still in the race, so he was bumped from behind, and he's still in this one. That's got to be good. This is lap number 7 of 65. total, there's about 240 miles to the races as Warren goes to the inside and making a move on Hugh Pham. And Warren has worked all the way up, so you can see that. Taking a look at Steve Eshenbaugh. We're going to take a look. He is back there. Steve Eshenbaugh started. Oh, look at him go. And Eshenbaugh taking on Chris Mullins here. Mullins is... he just leaves Mullins in dirt, literally, and now he's making his move on Rocha and Velasco to Arizona. I wouldn't say teammates, but they are from the same place. And Eshenbaugh's momentum has slowed down a little bit. He is on the inside, which is going to make it a little bit easier. Right now, at the beginning of the lap, he was running 14th place. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner, again, we're promoting the sticker. As we go on races, the exposition and the introductions will move down, and we'll move on a lot more of what place everybody's in and how they're running. In previous races, we already have 3 racers that are done. Ronald Ray, as we go down there, Sam Hopper is just losing speed. He is in here for the points. He might take, the biggest thing is you might get 5 cheaply. So Powell, Zane, Geist, and Ronald Ray are done. And that's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna hurt too much. Because when you have a lot of even drivers, then you're gonna hit 32nd. But it does put pressure to do well the next time. Yeah, that police car's not stopping any one of them. Steve Eshenbaugh. And Emilio Rocha's ahead of him as we're going back to front. So Emilio taking a look. He's trying to pass Adam Velasco, but Eshenbaugh again on the inside. And this is going to be a battle deep in the pack. So Eshenbaugh right now is 12th. He was 14th. And he can't get by everybody there. Velasco cutting him off. So he is 12th. Adam Velasco moving his way up. There is a difference in the first pack and the last pack. If you can get that separation. John Oldfield in that second pack is leading everyone. Doug Sandra, I'm wondering, he does have damage. If you can see Doug Sandra, his front left of his car is damaged in. Now, I'm not sure whether that's going to hurt his speed, but again, Doug Sandra in that second pack is back there. He's number 51, and he's number 8. So we get better, maybe a little bit better look at that. It's his driver's side hood. It's crumpled up a little bit. Hard to see there. Actually, it's a passenger side hood. You can see it there. So rounding out the top 10 as we're moving up. You're in lap number 9 of Daytona Beach. Rocha is moving his way up to 9th. And as we see Josh Johnson, he's 8th. Johnson, there are 2 different packs in this race. And we're focusing on some of the drivers back here. A lot of positioning. If you hit that sand, you slow down and you get rear-ended. So you got to be very careful there, especially. And oh, look at Spencer Kale. Knocking Velasco right in the back. There's a little bit of contact there. And it is Rubbin Racing, and Spencer Kale on the inside is going to push as hard as he can. But Josh Johnson moving up in that pack. And Johnson is first place in that deep pack there. He's 8th. So 7th is right now, all the way back is Matt Brinker. He is actually 6th. But as you see here, Michael Paul is bringing up that original front pack. Michael Koran is the leader, number 23. And Scotty Schultz is fighting him for position. Michael Paul is back there. It's about, you want the bonus points. You want the most laps led, and you want leading 1 lap. So a lot of people can get that leading 1 lap. That's very easy. As you see, Michael Paul, he is 8th. Up he's 7th. 7 in that front group. You got Koran, Schultz, Cunningham. Your top 3. Country Doc is all the way up to 4th. Brent Simmons. And Brent Simmons has made his way all the way to 5th. That is very big. Brent Simmons, he started on the back, and here comes Brent Simmons on a move. He's moving to the inside. He's trying to forge ahead here. So Cunningham is cutting off Simmons. Simmons getting a little bit perturbed at him. You know, he's just going to ram right through his bunker, and a wide turn by Country Doc, and he's going to lose some. He was trying to get out of the way, and he lost it a little bit. But Simmons has the inside track here in lap number 10. So fighting for first is also Scotty Schultz and Koran, but this is 3 wide. Look at Country Doc recovering. So you have Simmons, Cunningham, and Country Doc. And here comes another 2 cars slipstreaming. My goodness, we're about 4 wide, and you can see the different jockeying and positioning going on. Scotty Schultz trying to take the lead on the inside. And they thin out as they come near the corner. So Cunningham here. Country Doc again, number 29. He's now 4th. As him and Cunningham are battling for that position. Brent Simmons is all the way to 3rd. Schultz and Koran are really leading this pack. Scotty Schultz chasing Michael Koran. I did know a Matt Koran. I accidentally called Michael Matt in the very beginning. But Michael Koran is taking a lead here. Only 0.05 of a second for Michael and Scotty Schultz coming up trying to get a lead here. All right, we're going to take our first break for a few minutes. We will be back. Enjoy the updated standings, and there we go. So, after a few laps, this race is starting to heat up. We'll be back. Brent Simmons is now fighting Scott Schultz for the lead. Brent Simmons is now pushing ahead, and he's taking the inside track. He wants to just take this lead. He wants to take it early. He wants to be the pace setter. He wants to, and Brent Simmons has the lead. Now the question is, can he lead for a lap? And if he can lead for a lap, then he gets 5 bonus points in the standings. So here's how the standings work. You get set amount of points for finishing in positions. So you get set amount of points. So number 1 is, I believe, 175. The second one is 170. The third one is 165. And then it goes to intervals of 4. And then it goes to intervals of 3. So it's set. You get 5 bonus points for leading 1 lap. And you get 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. And you can see this is was there an incident back there? Let's take a look back here. Brian Lippert is back there. Nick Leahy, we're working our way up. Sammy Gonzales, John Geist is back here. I'll tell you what though, and we are going actually to some pits. So let's take a look here on pit row. So William Mullins comes in early for some pits. You can get a cheap 5 points. If you know you're not going to win and you're back there, you can get a cheap 5 by pitting early. And when everybody else pits, you just lead a lap and then you get blown out again. But William Mullins had to come into the pit. He came in early. So apparently his strategy is probably to come in early. Either that or he took some damage I didn't see. So William Mullins has to make this all up now. He has to build up speed. So as we take a look here at the cars going down the long straightaway, you can see it's funny on your right side cars going and the cars on the left side, they're just coming towards the screen. Mike Kilroy, number 34. Kilroy is back there. In fact, we are looking at the fight for 23rd place. He's in 23rd right now. So this is 21, 22, and 23. Kilroy his car got beat up. I'm wondering if he's back there because his car got hit. Of course, a lot of these cars in the a lot of the cars are taking some damage in the turns because it's Rubbin's racing in the turns. So all alone. You're on board with John Geist, number 87. He's 24th place. You're going to get a view of like what it looks like, and this is really what it looks like. So coming off the pace beginning this, you're going to go off the sand onto the pavement, and this is very interesting. We're staying on with John Geist because we want to show you what it looks like here. Now what you do is you accelerate as hard as you can down the straightaway. And then when you get, there's a little bit of a, right here, there's sand on both sides. So you want to make sure that you don't go off, because if you hit that at this speed, you can flip out or whatever, or slow down. Remember, this is a 4-mile course. So there's a little bit of a turn here. I almost jumped the gun early. I said there's a little bit and I'm waiting for the turn. But that slight turn does make a difference, especially when when the speed changes in the grip. Now see, you got to slow down in a hurry and you got to go into the sand. So this is very difficult driving. And then you come out and you just gun it right here. So John Geist is way back there. John Geist, number 87, he's 29 seconds behind the leader. And speaking of the leader, all the way up, and Brent Simmons. There's Sam Hopper, who's still making it. Notice how damaged the back of Hopper's car is. He's still going, he wants some points. So Scotty Schultz, this is the front. Scotty Schultz with the lead, but here's Brent Simmons. So Brent is from Butler County. He's lived all over the United States, and I'm sure that experience helps him in a situation like this. We're going to go into his front of his car. Take a look at the chase here for this is for first position with Scotty Schultz. Your lap number 15 of 65. Simmons again on the inside, playing that sand line. Very, very tough. And they try and break here. That's not used to. And again on the inside, you got to play that tough. They got a slower car coming up ahead of them. Inside for Brent Simmons. How are they going to do this with the slower car? Scotty Schultz behind him. Country Doc is also back there. And Michael Koran is, he's still going. But here comes Brent Simmons. This could be very interesting. You got a slow car and you got a straightaway coming. This screams incident all over it because it's not narrow and Sam's not getting out of the way. He's from New York City. He's not going to get out of the way. Sam Hopper's going to be like, oh, no, I'm going. I don't care. And you got 2-on-2 and Sam, who's a damaged car, he had a very good qualifying. He qualified, he was up there, but he was in that incident. And you can see Hopper now. Gas station view here, and it's going to be close. Sam Hopper again in a slower car. Let's see if anything happens. Oh, he cuts off Koran, who goes into Country Doc. He's cutting everybody off now. Look at Sam. He's driving like a true New Yorker. And he just cut a few people off, I'm sure, Country Doc, and he caused Country Doc to lose some. Brent Simmons now keeps the lead over Scotty Schultz. Here in lap number 16, we should be close to getting our first major pit stop with everybody. Remember, there is no yellow flags in this race. No yellows. You race right through it. But that's big because you don't bunch up. There'll be no bunching up. So Simmons and Schultz will go back. Sam Hopper now. Look at this. Look, Koran can't get past him. Sam is the two East Coast United States people in Beijing, and Koran gets by Sam Hopper. Sam is losing it in the sand. His car was damaged in that first incident when Zane Geist slammed the back of Brandon Powell, and it just was, Sam got caught up in that, and he hasn't had the same car since. He went to the pits and got way behind, and now he's way behind again. He's out there to get points, though. There'll be probably other cars that retire and don't get it. Any point you can get is big because there is no separation between first place and second, first place and 31st or 33rd. There's no big separation. It's all on the race. All the cars are the same. And all of the drivers have the same stats, so it really is, it's up to what happens in a race. A lot of luck here. Mark Cunningham now, he's 5th, and Matt Brinker and Mark Cunningham, and they're going up on Sam Hopper. Sam Hopper, look at him, he's going to start cutting people off. This is enjoyable watching him, but he doesn't cut off Matt Brinker. Matt Brinker would just go right through him. He'd just say, "Oh, you're going to cut me off. Well, I hope you like my front hood and your back," literally. And Brinker goes by him. You can see Sam Hopper missing his hood. So Mark Cunningham coming around. Again, that battle, Brinker is 6th, and Cunningham is 5th. So Cunningham is 5th, Brinker 6th. Here in the 17th lap. It's big because Brinker is 5 seconds behind. Now, the thing is, they're slipstreaming and they're going close, but there's going to be a point when they close up again. Sam Hopper again. The next one is going to be Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson running 7th, and Steve Eshenbaugh right now is making a move on him. Look at Chris Mullins. Chris Mullins out of Ohio, he was nearing last place. but he's making some moves here. There is a lot of time as Josh Johnson goes around the curve. There's time to make this up. This is 18 laps. And of 65. We got 65 laps. Well, this is 18 to 65. I mean, this isn't... So going down here, this has been okay. It's been solid. A couple incidents early. Josh Johnson battling 7th. He's about 10 seconds behind the leader, and here comes Hopper. Hopper is going back here, and Hopper really with the damaged car. Look at him. He's trying to pull in. Hopper is going to cut off some cars here. He's just showing the guts of a New Yorker as he's just pulling in front of people. It's really the wild card, because he's got a damaged car from that earlier wreck. He doesn't even have a hood. He's still staying out there trying to get points. So, you know, good for him. He might get the extra 5. He might wait and be the last one to pit and get the extra 5 for, quote, leading a lap, but he's behind by a lot. So I'm not sure he'll even lead a lap, even after the major pits come. But Josh Johnson here, he's battling 7th. Steve Eshenbaugh is 8th, and he is coming up right behind him. He's been battling all day. I'm surprised Eshenbaugh is not further ahead. His aggressiveness. Mullins has really surprised me. And same with Spencer Kale. Spencer Kale started out really back there in qualifying. He was back there, as we said before, qualifying was just a second really from first to last. So there's really no difference between these drivers. But we're focusing in on this battle, mainly because we have everybody watching. Just for regular NASCAR, first place would be most important, but everybody wants to see how they're doing. But Spencer Kale's in the top 10 now. I mean, quite frankly, Spencer Kale being in the top 10 is surprising, because he was 31st and a couple incidents happened, but he's worked his way up. So Josh Johnson here is battling for 7th. Spencer Kale, there's Eshenbaugh 8th. Chris Mullins trying to work his way up. Spencer Kale is 10th. Sam Hopper trying to slow down Emilio Rocha. Rocha looks like he's going to pass him, but you never know if Hopper's not all the way into the right-hand lane. Oh, and look at Hopper and pushing Rocha. Oh, he bumped him. And Hopper's like, no way. No way. Yeah, Hopper, he's going to get a little bit of work on pit, so I would be surprised if he remained this slow throughout the race. But Rocha again, Keith Novick. Keith Novick, number 56. He is 12th, and he's fighting Bryce McMinn back here for 12th place. The battle for 12th. Now, every point matters, because basically you can be in the top 10, and because of the way things flip, you might be able to win this thing and never win a race. But if you're consistently in the top 10, that's big. It looks like Rocha's going into the pits. I mean, he was hit. We're going to have to see on this. Kale back here. We're going to try and find Rocha. Where is Rocha? And right here. Oh, it looks like this is going to be, let's take a look at the pits here, as it looks like some of these cars are starting to pit. And here we go down pit lane. Oldfield is going to pit too. And here comes Mike Kilroy. He's coming into the pits. So Emilio Rocha getting a little bit more than tires. John Oldfield is in and out. It looks like that bump. And they're still working on the car. Here's Mike Kilroy. Emilio Rocha goes out. So Mike Kilroy, you can see in the background. He's going very quickly. There's no big mass exodus or entrance. So taking a look all around, trying to find another one in the car, trying to see. Kilroy is he still in the pits? As I'm cycling all through the cars, you take a quick look, at everybody and where they are. Looks like Kilroy is still in the pits. As we cycle through all the different camera angles in the cars. Actually, there's an easier way to do this. I'm just gonna go to him. He's out. Just got out of the pits. Mike Kilroy is out. He's number 34. Kilroy from Butler, Pennsylvania. I understand you can barely read what it says up here, but it is what it is. Lap number 21 is 65. This is one of the longer races. 132 average miles an hour. We're going to go chase cam with some of these people. Scotty Schultz is first. And again, him and Brent Simmons are battling for the lead. Michael Koran is third. Fourth is Country Doc. He's a little bit behind Koran. Fifth is Cunningham, and as you can see, there's a long 5 seconds between him and the next. But Matt Brinker's right on his tail. Brinker is 6th. We'll get back to that. Josh Johnson trying to catch up. He was the leader of that back pack. There were 2 packs in this race in the first 20 laps. Josh Johnson was the leader of that pack for a long time. Now he's trying to move his way up and get some seconds off here. Steve Eshenbaugh is right behind him, both using the slipstreams. Looks like Eshenbaugh wants to go ahead of Josh Johnson. Chris Mullins is moving back. He's number 56. He is 10th. He's 16 seconds off the lead. Keith Novick, number 56. I got to find out where Keith is. Keith would love it. He's 10th, actually, and he's going into the pits. It looks like there's a lot of cars coming into the pit now. It looks like they're all pitting at the same time. So we're going to take a look here. There's a lot of pits, so let's take a look here. Simmons got an incident, and Simmons in the pit. There's an incident with Simmons in the pit. And we got to see Brent Simmons here. Brent Simmons going into the pit. I'm not sure if he's still in. Brent Simmons here. We're going to take a look at the pit lane coming in and out. There's some cars flying into everything. Having to take a look here. Let's take a look at Brent Simmons. It looks like, let's go to the chase view and see what happened there. There was an incident that happened in the pits going in. He came out. I'm not sure if he even came into the pits. So let's take a look here. So he came in, and it looks like he got spun around or something. Yeah, he did get spun around. I'm not sure what happened. It looked like Paul Slovick from coming out of the pits. So it looks like he was in the pits, and this is the one thing with sand that happens. So taking a look at this, this is the incident. This is replay, as you can tell by the screen. And Simmons goes in for pits. It was all right. And then all of a sudden he goes out. And I guess he just didn't look too far. People coming in. Chris Mullins came in, and then he came out, and he went inside. Slovick tried to get in. Oh, look at that, and he backed him up. And he spun around, and he lost some seconds. And he got damage on his car. It's interesting. He's now number 6. He's 45 seconds back. But you got to realize that right now is a pit phase. It is a pit phase. So you take a look. There are people coming into the pits. And the pit cameras here aren't great. This is not the greatest first race to have, because the camera angles are down. Scotty Schultz was the leader. And coming out of the pits now, so Schultz was in there. It's going to be jumbling of standings. So it's going to be some coming in, some coming out, but that incident, once everything evens out, now we got a new leader. It's number 6. So Scott Schultz, Koran, and now coming through is Country Doc. But Michael Paul is up there. So let's see Michael Paul now. So Michael Paul out of Arizona. I'm not sure whether he has a pit or not. He might be up there because he hasn't pitted yet. Really, pitting is not taking all the time in the world. Really, the short tracks are where pitting you lose a lot of position. Because on the short tracks, it's such a long and windy way to get to your pits, and a lot of times it takes forever. So Michael Paul out of Arizona right now, he's going 4th. I'm not sure whether that was because of good pit stops or because that was just because he hasn't pitted yet. But we're going to see this right now. We're going to follow him around a little bit as Michael Paul looking good. This is from the deep angle. You can see that he has a little bit to make up. Michael Paul a little over a second. He's starting to get into that slipstream. He's going to really have to start banking on the turns and not playing them safe. He can do that when you're a little bit behind and you got a long time to go, especially on this track. He's got Sam Hopper in front of him. Now Sam might have gone to the pits, so I don't know if he's still slow or not. He might have gone to the pits and had his car repaired. But it looks like he's losing ground. Michael Paul, as Michael Paul is now 2 seconds behind Scotty Schultz. And Paul goes past Sam Hopper, so now he can just put the pedal to the metal and actually catch up to the front group. I'm wondering about Hopper. There's Sam Hopper. He's a lap down. 3 have retired, as you know, if you're just joining us. Powell, number 11. He was hit behind by Zane Geist and Ronald Ray. Ronald Ray was cut up into it early. So series-wise, since I don't think statistically there's no shot for a dominant driver, it's not going to hurt too much, but it's going to put pressure on the next race. So Mark Cunningham is ahead of Brent Simmons. Brent, because of the pit incident, now Brent is really forging his way to the front. Remember, Brent Simmons was all the way back. He was a long way behind. And then Scotty Schultz had a pit. So Simmons, I would say about 10 seconds is about what happened there. And Josh Johnson goes ahead of Brent Simmons. So 2 classes in 1999 are behind a later class in Cunningham, 3 Knock Knights, trying to battle for position. And it looks like Josh Johnson's going to get ahead of that. You can see the marks on Simmons' car. Look at it on the driver's side. On the driver's side door, you can see, and we're not going to see it here, but you can just absolutely see the marks, and you'll see it. We moved up to zoom into Josh Johnson. Mark Cunningham, you can see on the right. Brent Simmons in the number 7 car. These are also tough camera angles to see. This is a tough race, and like anything else, it's the toughest one to produce. As Josh Johnson going ahead fast. Cunningham and Johnson in the front. It's going to be interesting taking this turn. People seem to thin out. If you're too far out, you don't want your car slipping way to the outside. You lose a lot of speed. Inside on a dirt track, you are 100% in control. So trying to take the slipstream here is Brent Simmons. And the inside, it is an open inside gap, but Josh Johnson is not giving it to him. And Simmons might want to wait here. He doesn't want to go crazy. So trying to go on Cunningham now. It's bunched up. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they get to the turn. So Simmons again trying to get the lead. Cunningham number 12. This is battle for 5th because Cunningham is 5th right now. Johnson is 6th. Brent Simmons is 7th, equaling his car number. Simmons going on the inside. Looks like Johnson made a mistake. And Simmons gets a little bit of command here as he takes Johnson's old position. And now he's going to try and fight Mark Cunningham. I really think if Simmons gets past this, there you see the damage on the driver's side car. And it doesn't look like it's too much. Simmons is losing a second or so because he's in a pack and he's trying to make moves. Look at Keith Novick behind, fighting with Eshenbaugh. Keith Novick in the target car. He's from New Jersey, and he's really fighting for position here. Remember, when you get out of the pack, then all of a sudden, as Simmons drops back again, now all of a sudden you got an open invitation to really go as fast as you can, even though you don't have the aiding of the slipstream. You don't have the inhibiting of the traffic. So Johnson will be around. He goes around Cunningham. And Brent Simmons is behind Cunningham, taking a little bit of a lead, but he has the outside. It's going to be interesting this as we look for the battle for 7th, this straightaway. As Novick and Eshenbaugh, it's fun watching that behind him, so we got 2 really good battles. Matt Brinker is he's drifting back, and he's caught up in that pack with Chris Mullins. So Matt Brinker is 10th, as you can see it. And Steve Eshenbaugh is number 9. But right now we're looking at 3 packs at once. And it looks like Brent Simmons on the inside. And here comes, you can see the 3 different packs here. Well, actually, the 2 cars, that don't really count as a pack. It's more like a dual symbiotic relationship, but nobody says DSR. People put in their own initials, and knowing people today, they would make up something that would get me in a lot of hot water. So Josh Johnson again, and Simmons. It's very interesting. You get to 3 battles, and we're on lap number 27, almost halfway through. 130 miles an hour. Keith Novick and Eshenbaugh. We're going to take a look at number 1. Scotty Schultz, Doug Sandra, number 51. But we're going to take a look back here. Country Doc and all the way to Scotty Schultz. There's 3 that are doing well. John Galante is being lapped. We haven't really heard of John Galante. He's in the blue. And the number 14 car there you see, John Galante. But he's being lapped. He hasn't had a great day today. There are many different types of courses and many different types of tracks. So this might not be his. They leave kind of to Galante in the dust. Galante is a lap back, and Galante is 3 laps back, actually. So not having a good day. I'm not sure why he's so far back. 3 laps is a lot. Even if you pit, you're going to be back about 30 to 40 seconds. These are short pits, and then you're in and out. This car doesn't look damaged. It just looks like it's not his day. Schultz again. This is the battle for the lead now. The top 3. It looks like Country Doc and Scotty Schultz and Michael Koran are fighting for the lead. Of course, this is lap number 27. So you never can tell who's going to be it. So Scotty Schultz looks good. We're going to take a break here. Scotty Schultz leading. Let's take a look at what the late race looks like through Scotty Schultz's eyes in his car. We're going to leave you this. So for over 28 through 65. 28 through 65.
Shop
and
online
we will
at
be
the
back. Well, Brooke Warren just came out of the pits. And there are a few people right now, they're being, I'm not sure what the, Galante is hanging in there really. He's 3 laps behind. I'm wondering if there was a mechanical failure or something with his car, because Galante's making a move here. It's going to be very difficult for, it's not like a short track where you can just pick people off and then be very aggressive, and it takes a little bit. But right now, John Galante in that front group, he has, he's 3 laps down, but he's really working hard. And he's not getting lapped, really. So it might have been a little mechanical differences or something to that effect. But I think his goal is to be, you know, to not only survive this race. I believe Galante, is he the last one? Yes, he is. He's 4 back. He's 3 back of Sam Hopper. Now, we know Hopper has damage. So if Galante can get past this pack, then he can really get ahead and maybe catch Hopper for the end of this race. We got a long way to go. We're about halfway through. And that's the way John Galante looks right here. Galante looking through here. And he is looking good. Taking a look at others, Josh Johnson again. He's moved up to 4th. In that commercial break we have, there's another pack here. So Josh Johnson is moving up. We're going to have to focus in on some of the back, some of the 20s through 30s. We haven't heard of, you know, there's been, as Johnson, and he is passed by Keith Novick. And Keith Novick is a no-nonsense guy, and when he wants to pass you, he's going to pass you. Novick and Simmons is back there, so he must have had damage, because he was driving all day very well and fighting for the lead. And then when that pit incident happened, where it was just an accident that happened there, that kind of knocked him back. Now, it is, to be fair, very difficult to gain seconds on this course, because you know you have a lot of straightaways where you're gunning it, and all these cars go about the same speed, and then the turns are really the only place where you can gain something. So Novick is 14 seconds back. Michael Koran has the lead, and Scotty Schultz is second. Country Doc is third, number 29. But right now you're looking for battle of 4th, and these are very big positions because there's 5 points between them in the standings. And don't underestimate any points you get in the standings. Don't underestimate that at all, because going into Indianapolis, the 13th race, it's going to be like, hey, wait a second. We need to finish 5 ahead, or say that could be the difference in the final last 10 laps of the Indianapolis 500 to win the whole shebang. Whether, you know, you got to finish 5th or 6th, and, you know, you might have to gain 3 spots in the last 20 laps at Indianapolis and to win the championship, because here you finished 6th instead of 4th. You have to understand that, and that's why these position battles are big. And even in the back portion, some of these battles are big, as you're taking a look at Novick here. We're going back. Brent Simmons is now 17 seconds back. Him and Steve Eshenbaugh are fighting for 7th place. Well back of the leader, but you just never know when there's pack racing. They could damage each other. But there's a lot of cars here. Bryce McMinn is now up to 9th. We haven't called his name all day. And he's fighting Matt Brinker off here. Bryce McMinn, Chris Mullins, who started off really back there in qualifying, but has threatened. He hasn't really done that much, but he's threatened. And he's come up a lot of spaces since then. So he's really come up a lot of spaces, but ever since he has, he's kind of stuck in 10th place. And right now he's in a pack that's not really going too far, as Bryce McMinn, Matt Brinker, and Chris Mullins are all fighting here for 9th place. As McMinn is 9th, he's 23 seconds behind the leader. And this is lap number 32. We're approaching halfway. They're beyond halfway because we're in halfway in a race. There's still a long way to go in this race. This is not easy. This is not an easy race. As you have McMinn going ahead, you have Mullins, and you have Brinker right back there. Doug Sandra, number 51. It's funny because we're getting down into 12th place now. Doug is far behind Chris Mullins in that last pack that we just saw. Right now, he's in the, he's 40 seconds back. He's in the kind of sort of thing. The thing that's going to help Doug is everybody else is in packs and they're slowing down and they're being careful towards the curves. When you're like this and you're racing on the beach here, you're going to be going fast in the curves. You don't need to worry. So you can sling that car out and get some momentum going in and be a little bit faster. It's 40-49. Let's see if his time comes down. No, it's gone down to 42 now. There's some advantages and some that aren't. But Doug has a lead. He's in 12th. He's 42 seconds back, but come on. That's like, you know, you're 11th. You're 12th out of 33 drivers. If you can maintain 12th all the way through, then you have a shot at winning the whole thing, because there's no crazy bonus for winning a race. If you're consistent, then that's very big, and especially when you have all even drivers. If you can be in the top 15, you have a chance. Now, of course, the bonus points are going to kill you. Looks like he got nailed on the side. So that's Doug Sandra out of Baltimore, Maryland, number 51. A couple bumps early in the race, and that was good. Michael Powell now and Nick Leahy. Nick Leahy has moved his way up. Michael Powell has fallen back to 49 seconds. We saw him close and early on, but he didn't pit, and that was the reason. So Michael Powell, not really the best day in the world, but he's fighting Nick Leahy. Now, Nick Leahy started out near the back in qualifications, and now he's worked his way up to the middle of the pack. It's hard, though. Once you fall behind, it is very difficult, again, to get seconds back here. And Nick Leahy is trying to slingshot around Michael Powell. But let's see about this. A lot of times in this portion of the race, when you have two drivers, it's just different momentums. You have one driver that's slipping back and one driver that's forging ahead. And right now, that's the battle for 13th place. It might seem a little trivial. John Geist is coming back. He's getting closer and closer to number 9. We're going to look at that in a second. But right now, Michael Powell, and again, every position is big because it's a jump in points. Every position. So you don't want to be. And Nick Leahy again. Leahy will take the lead now on Michael Powell. So Leahy is forging ahead and Michael Powell starting to fall back. And Leahy will take over 13th. So in 13 races, it's kind of weird in the middle. It's not long term, so you're not pacing for the marathon, but you can't sprint. And you can't take yourself out of the race just because you say, hey, you know, you just can't say, hey, I want to get first in every race, you know, and then you crash and then you're out of it. It's kind of the medium. You need the balance. And when you're in the balance, all these positions in the middle, whenever you have great races, because all these drivers are even, or exact even in statistics. Whenever you have drivers like that, then when your bad days are like 13th and 12th, those are the positions that win you the whole thing. Here's John Geist against Paul Slovick. 87 against 9. And going inside, and a couple incidents early. That incident in the pit. Slovick was trying to get into the pit, and all of a sudden Simmons came out. It's just one of those accidents. There really was no fault. It just happened. And in fact, if it was anything, it was a person up front that didn't allow the Simmons pit guy, and that went too early. Thought he could make it, and it's a sand track, so you're not going to make it. And of course, Slovick was going very well. This is battle for 15th position. John Geist, you haven't really called his name all day, but he's 15th. And Slovick is 16th, so right now they're fighting each other for this. John Geist out of Saxonburg, Paul Slovick out of McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. It's interesting watching these battles. Now, it's very confusing in the early part of the race. It's confusing because you're trying to get the leaders and you're trying to get all that stuff and the messes that happen. And now it's starting to thin out. You're seeing the battles. But now we go back. There's a big separation between 17th place. So this is 16th. And Spencer Kale. Now Spencer Kale started out way back. And now he's back to 17th. He started out way back in qualifying, and he worked his way up. He was doing a good job early in the race, and he's just fallen behind. It's easy to lose points here when you're trying to be aggressive. It's tough to get them back. Tough to get back seconds. He's kind of on an island on his own, Spencer Kale is, on lap 36 of 65. Right now there's nobody around him, and he can think about how he's right now 17th place. So 17th place Spencer Kale right now trying to pick up some action. He wants to get, Spencer's 59 seconds back of the leader. We're getting to that point where people are thinning out, and you're seeing the tiers of drivers today. It doesn't mean they're going to stick this way the rest of the course, because we have different sort of courses. We have road courses, we have short tracks, we have ovals, we have everything. Of course, we have Indianapolis at the very end. See Spencer Kale lonely on a Daytona Speedway course on the beach. You know, I always wondered, they show the gasoline. What if some car flipped and went right into gasoline? I'm sure that's not the smartest thing they've ever done, is put a gas station next to it. But it's the 1950s. You did stuff like that. You allowed face masking in football. Moving back is John Oldfield, number 62, and this is the 18th position. It's funny because there's 33. Oldfield and Amelia Rocha right here. Amelia is number 91, but John Oldfield, and this is a battle here. People don't realize these battles, but these battles, when we talk about championships and winning the whole thing, it might not be your day-to-day, but these battles are very important. And it takes about 30 laps or so to sort out the race and where everybody is. But right now, this battle, there's 33. And if you can finish in the top half, the formula really is this: there's 13 races. If you can finish in the top half, you're doing well. It looks like there's damage on the back of John Oldfield's. Yeah, that thing, he was damaged. It looks like he got hit or something to that effect. You can, oh, look at that. It looks like it was smashed. Let's take a look at Amelia Rocha, but let's take a look at the chase angle. There it is. And you see the back differences of the car. Yeah, he's missing his whole back of his car. No wonder why Oldfield is back, number 62. He's 18th and he's falling. Look at that. The back, that's his gas tank. He's got to be careful. His gas tank, I'm not sure how safe that is. John Oldfield is driving with an exposed gas tank. Well, Amelia, if you ever wanted to take him out, just go right back into his rear bumper, and he's driving with an exposed gas tank. How safe is that? Well, there's no yellow flags on this course either. So you can see a little bit of damage there. Oldfield is down, as you can see. That's from pit cams. John Oldfield and Emilio Rocha here. So these are big battles, as you see everybody, and these are because of points. As we said, there's 13 races. So if your worst race is in the top half, then that is perfect. Because you're going to have, if you're competing for a title, you're going to have your really, really good races in the top 5. It's those when you wreck early. I'm not saying it's an uphill battle all the way, but what I'm saying is you can't have 2 in a row. William Mullins now, number 45, he's 20th, and he's 4 seconds back. Of course, he's only 4 years old. So when you're only 4 years old, this is a heck of a performance. So William Mullins, number 45, he's in Taiwan right now, the son of Chris Mullins, and I'm wondering if the 4-year-old is beating his dad. So as they go down, this is a part of the race where everybody's going. Adam Velasco in Arizona, he's 21st. He's in Tucson, I believe, right now. Velasco, I taught with him at Beijing when I was a school counselor, and he was an English teacher. Good guy, bright future. I really look forward to it. So if you have an exposed gas tank, I would highly recommend you. Oh, there was something there by John Geist. John Geist, I don't know if he was hit. Let's see. We're going to go back to a replay here. John Geist, something happened with him. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. So here's John Geist. We're going to go to chase cam. And we're going to rewind. It looked like something happened where on the corner he bumped to the outside. Again, if you lose, don't worry. We got the live cam going. And William Mullins passed him. But yeah, it looks like he got to the outside. I'm wondering how this happened. Oh, it looks like he just lost control, maybe. And oh no, it looks like let's take a look. This is John Geist. Actually, did something happen before this? No, he's coming from the pits. John Geist coming from the pits. It looked weird. He was coming around, but again, you don't want to get slammed. But he took that inside curve too much. He made that mistake. That was a big mistake. And Geist goes to the outside. Of course, with the separation, he almost took out. He should have taken out that road sign. And see, you're not looking good here. And you got to get in. You got to get into the car. There you go. You got to go into the lane. It's so hard, though, because it's so short. But the thing that helps you, and there's John Geist, he's live. John Geist, number 87. He is 19th, and he's caught speed again. We're talking about William Mullins, and William Mullins is now getting a challenge from John Geist. John Geist is trying to beat a 4-year-old. But here's Adam Velasco. Oh, and here's some players pitting. So that's going to mess up a few things as they come around the corner. It's hard to see because in this pit it looks like maybe the leader's pitting. Let's see who it is. They go for a quick splash and go. I see an orange car. It might be Schultz. Let's take a look at the top of the standings to see. It looks like it is Scotty Schultz. And Cunningham comes out. He's one of them in the pits. Schultz taking a little bit of time in the pits, and we got to see him about this. Scotty Schultz, number 6. We got to take a look. He's in the pits for a while. I don't know whether this is damage or not, but we're taking a look here. This is big time, and now he comes out of the lane. So Scotty Schultz, he was in there, the pits. They just got tires and everything. Schultz, and again they play that inside. It's tough. You got to be close whenever you're doing this. Schultz will fly down. But again, remember, Schultz has a pit stop on everybody else. So this is the part of the race where the pits are just playing havoc on everybody. In the standings. Wondering about Koran now as we go. We're starting to talk about Velasco, then this happened. Scotty Schultz will come out. I wonder how far down he is. He's 16th. So now we have different people going in. There's John Oldfield. Oldfield and Emilio Rocha going against each other. Spencer Kale, number 82, he was up there. It's just really, now everybody is just fighting for themselves, the pit strategies. They're coming in for the next few laps. It's just going to be all messed up. And look at that exposed gas tank in the back. That's not very good. That's not great when you're racing around with no protection for your gas tank. Doug Sandra is going into the pits. And let's see Doug here. Doug will come in. Let's take a look at Doug Sandra when he's in the pits. Oh, the number 51. So there are a lot of people coming into the pits now. So this is a good camera angle for the pits. You're going to have this kind of camera angle for the other races in the pits. And Sandra comes out. So Doug, it was very quick splash and go. I'm very interested to see Michael Koran. He's leading right now. There's Adam Velasco. There he is. And right now Michael Koran has the lead. Country Doc is behind him. But again, remember, we're in that old sort of pitting thing. And Koran nearing the curve, loses it to Galante. Galante all of a sudden is putting his foot to the pedal and really, I mean, that's another lap that he doesn't have to make up. Galante is pushing forward. Galante is now 3 down. And Sam Hopper is 2. Who knows? There's still a long way to go. There's 23 laps to go in this race, and Galante has all open space in front of him. So it depends on his ability and talent now. He won't be slowed down from the next pack. And Koran again. Steve Bandi, number 22. We haven't talked about him all day. He loves the Seattle Seahawks, and he loves 22nd place. Koran again trying to take the lead from Galante. Galante does not need this. He needs a little bit of the slipstream to go. A little bit faster, but he doesn't need to slow down and pack racing, and this can be tough in the dirt. It's tough really to go in the dirt and to jockey for position. You can't do it. It's tough because if you turn one way or another going at a high speed, you know, there's no forgiveness. You'll fly into the ocean. You'll be having your car will turn into a fishbowl. Salt water too, so it'll sting your eyes. I always wondered in movies how they did that. People would swim underneath the water and open their eyes. I go swimming every day at the Y. I open my eyes up underwater, and that's just, I can't do it. I open it up and they hurt, and that's fresh water. Looks like there's more people in the pits. I'm going to take a look at here. There's Bandi. Right now, let's look at the pits now. Of course, they go the wrong way. I don't know. It doesn't look like there's too many in the pits. I don't think there's any. There's somebody coming in. Two cars coming in, and they're in the back of qualifications. So it's tough to see, really. In the other games we will have, it doesn't look like this for the pits. In the other games, it's very easy to see. It's just this track is not very camera friendly. It really isn't. It's so big and so wide. Even the road tracks are really awesome when you see them. So let's see who these were coming out of the pits. And that was Bryce McMinn and Chris Mullins. So Bryce McMinn and Chris Mullins. Chris Mullins is 8th. And Bryce McMinn, oh my goodness, let's go to that battle. McMinn and Mullins. So, whoa, Sam Hopper's still going. There's Mike Kilroy. So, Bryce McMinn here. Bryce McMinn and Brent Simmons. Chris Mullins behind him. Brent Simmons is now 1:06 back. He might have pitted early, I don't know. But he also took damage. He took damage in that pit incident, so it's not all that. So Brent is holding on. He's 11th. If he can finish in the top 10, that's going to be very big for his point standings. Again, in the very beginning, if you have a bad race in an incident, you finish in the top 10. Out of 13, if that's your only one, I mean, that's actually a championship moment. Right now, everybody is pitting, and Bryce McMinn just pit. So it's where I feel that we're going to get close to another session where everybody's going to be pitting. Michael Koran again, the leader. He's led a ton of laps. Here's Nathan Butler. Nathan Butler out of Michigan. He started off pretty well. He's only a lap down, but he's 28th position. He's missing a hood. Of course, he got in an incident, so his car might be damaged. He might not be able to get all that he needs to out of it. His car is damaged, and that's the thing. When you damage your car early on in a race, you just strive for those points. You get the pit strategy where you can get the lead, and that's about it. I mean, that's all you do, is you try and get the lead out of by going as far as you can without using gas, letting everybody else in the pits. But right now, you get to a point where that's not possible. You're trying to get that 5 bonus points, because that's moving up a position. So in reality, if you're second, you can get the same amount of points as the player who's first if you lead more laps than the player who's first. And if you're second and you lead all those laps and you pass that person and you gain first at the very end of the race, oh my goodness. That's a huge swing. We'll explain the point system in the, what's going to happen is we have the broadcast here, and then we have the point system. It's Nate Butler. We're going to ride with Nate Butler. As we're in lap number 45 right now. Nate without a hood to his car. You can see some of the damage. He's being passed. And this is not very, it's tough. Bryce McMinn passes him and Chris Mullins. Now that is the, there's Sandra, Kale. This is John Geist. William Mullins, John Oldfield. But we want to go to, there's Sammy Gonzales and Scott Schultz. Brian Lippert, we haven't really talked too much. He's been back there. It's not been his race all day. Country Doc and Mike Kilroy. We want to get to Bryce McMinn. We want to watch that battle. As we're flipping around right now. Spencer Kale just came into the pits. Galante into the pits again. Lippert back there. Sam Hopper, Kilroy, Koran, here we go. Where is Bryce McMinn? There he is. Where's Mullins? There he is. We're going to go through Chris Mullins because he got Brent Simmons coming from behind. And Brent Simmons is 7th. So right now, it's number 41, Bryce McMinn, who has 9th place. Mullins is 10th, and he rounds out the top 10. We're going to take a quick break here, but we will be back and enjoy again in the very first race. We're going to tell you this. Oh, and there comes Michael Powell into the pits. But we're going to have the live standings and the updated standings to the left on our break. We about every 15 laps here. So enjoy this race so far. We're going to take a break, and we will be back. Well, here we go. Chris Mullins and Bryce McMinn still jockeying for position. In lap number 48, there's a lot of people starting to go in. It looks like Matt Brinker is in to the pits. Let's take a look. Here's Brinker and Steve Eshenbaugh. Mark Cunningham is also into the pits. Oh, this could be big. Oh, they almost hit right there. That would have been devastating, especially for Mark Cunningham. Eshenbaugh gets out. Oh, there's an incident again with Simmons. And there's Simmons again, an incident in the pits. Oh my goodness, Simmons again, he ground down Eshenbaugh. And we got to take a look at this. I'm wondering, Brent Simmons came out of the pits. He just slammed in. We got to find out. There he is. And Brent Simmons, when he comes out, let's see how long he takes in the pits. Brent Simmons running 10th, and that's big. He wants a top 10 finish. And there was another incident in the pits. Brent Simmons, that was difficult right now. Man, I'll tell you what, when he wants a position, he just gets in there. And we're watching Simmons. That might be some damage done visible right now. Here comes Steve Bandi into the pits here. And Bandi is behind him, and he's going, I don't want to get in front of him. No, you go first, Brent. And Brent is in the pits. You can see Bandi. They're working on damage when it comes to Brent Simmons. And Brent Simmons here. Lap number 48 is 65. And Steve Bandi will get it, and he will get out of there, in and out. So it looks like Brent Simmons had some damage here. We got to take a look at Brent, and again, pits coming in. We're going to watch the pits for a little bit, because this is going to really decide everything. Number 79, Brooke Warren. Brooke Warren again behind Brent, going, yeah, go ahead. So Brooke Warren will get some changes. We haven't said her name all day, really. Number 79, she's 26th. Hasn't been her day today. And that was a quick pit, and that's going to help. All these drivers are even on their ratings. So that means that I'm seeing positions take away for Brent. All these drivers are even on the ratings, which means you're going to have good days and bad days, and the one with the most good days wins, and more people coming into the pits. Oh, this is interesting. And here comes William Mullins. Of course, he's 4 years old. If he nails his pit stop, that's going to be big. And it looks like he's going behind Brent Simmons, and he'll be okay there. Here's John Oldfield, number 62. He's got a bear on the front of his. I'm sure his son Oliver would love that, and William Mullins will go away. Oliver and Bella, of course, for John Oldfield. His wife Ree would like that. So they go back out, and Brent Simmons, Warren Oldfield, and all those are coming into the pits. Simmons must have really had something go on. I got to take a look at this. We got to take a look at Brent Simmons. What happened going in? Simmons, it might be very bad what happened. A lot of, it is... That wreck might have really damaged a lot to his car. And we will go back to the current state. But right now, there's Warren coming in, and Warren came in. We were here for about 30 seconds. Taking a look position, he's dropping down more and more and more. But him and Steve Eshenbaugh got into it in the pits. And this really is a major development. You have a very good driver who was running very good today, and two incidents both happened in the pits. So let's take a look. This is Brent Simmons. What we're going to do is we're going to take it from here, and we're going to go into Chase View, and we're going to see about this incident, this controversial incident right now that happened. Brent Simmons in the pits. This guy would be rating, I would say, probably third or fourth easily if it weren't for the incidents in the pits. High controversy here. A lot of controversy here in the first race already. So watch this. He goes into the pits. And Eshenbaugh didn't go around him. So Eshenbaugh didn't get around him. He should have gone to the outside. So Brent Simmons really with two accidents, I would say that Eshenbaugh is more at fault with what happened there. And he is still in, so they just gotta, it's just the way it is. It's the way this game works. That's why you race 13 races and not just have one. Grant is first. He's got to be leading. He's got to be leading no matter what. Country Doc is only a half second behind him here in lap number 50. He's led the most laps easily in this race. Now Country Doc is trying to get second place. He wants to lead at least a lap. He has before. I saw him lead at least one. So he's got those bonus points, but he also wants to get 5 more. So this is a point where right now Koran is going to finish. He could finish second. It's more on Country Doc to finish first, and what I mean by that is the way the point systems are set up, you get the points for leading the most laps, and you get the points for, how should I say, leading one lap and leading the most laps. So if you can't lead the most laps, the pressure on you is to finish first, so at least you're tied in the standings with that who is first. And right now, if Michael Koran wins, think about it, he'll have 185 points, and Country Doc will have 175. So he'll have a 10-point lead early. That's 2 positions. Take a look at the standings now. Let's say this were the final race and you need 3 positions. Let's say you're right now, you're Bryce McMinn, number 41, and you need to finish third to win a championship. Well, right now you're 31 seconds behind. That's what these early position battles mean. And especially in Indianapolis, you have no yellow lights in these NASCAR races, no yellows. So you're not going to bunch up. You're not going to get behind by 30 seconds and boom, oh, we're tied because of a yellow. That's not going to happen. And you get to close slower traffic and you get to all this. I mean, this is a lot that goes on. Emilio Rocha is about to get lapped. So that's a battle for first. There's so many other battles going on. Country Doc again looking solid against Michael Koran here in this. I guess it would be considered a road race because it's not a super speedway. There are actually 5 turns. This turn here is one of them. So looking ahead, there's Country Doc. John Galante. Now Galante is very interesting. Galante is 4 laps back, but he's over. I think Brent might be done for the day. Brent is now 4 laps back, and that pit incident, that's no good. That hurt. That does, so he might finish number 30. That's why Sam Hopper's still in the race. Looks like Sam got everything done on his car. Adam Velasco, though, he is leading. Of all the people that are 1 lap down or more, he's 19th. He has damage to the driver's side portion of his car, but he's doing well. Top 20 at 33 is good. Anything below like 20 and I mean, you're really fighting it. It's 3 points per position, I believe, past number 11. So Adam Velasco against John Galante. And it's not really for position here. Velasco trying to get by Galante. Galante is a lot of laps back. I mean, he's gone far enough that we can just say it's not his day. But that's Adam Velasco right here. Yeah, that's the pace car. Keith Novick. Keith Novick and Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson is 4th and Novick is 3rd. This is a battle for the bronze medal. Now both these drivers are 7 and 8 seconds back. As Michael Koran and Country Doc are fighting for the lead. You have this one. This is big. Keith Novick out of New Jersey. Northern New Jersey. I believe it's Freehold. And Josh Johnson out of Saxonburg. You couldn't ask for 2 different cultures. One from Western Pennsylvania and one from Northern New Jersey. And they're fighting it out right now for 3rd place, a big 3rd place. I mean, there are 5 points in the standings between each thing. Points are huge to come by. They are. They're just not given out like candy. They seem like they're given out like candy because you look at a NASCAR racer, they might have like 5,321 points out of 43 races. But it's all relative. It's like basketball where you're down by, you're down by 6 or 8 points. You say, well, it's 120 to 112, but, at certain points of the game, that becomes insurmountable. And Keith Novick, this is a very important early on battle. When we go to number 13, race number 13, you're going to see an early battle. You're going to see this battle transcend up in those standings. That's why Simmons losing 10th place going all the way out. That is huge. And now they got slower traffic. They got 2 slower racers in front of them, which are going to make it more and more difficult for them to try and get past them. It's one thing if it's one car, but they're acting like it's the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and you always get the slow drivers in both lanes, and you're going out of your skull saying, come on. There might be an accident trying to get around them. Because not only are you trying to get around the person next to you, Johnson, look at Johnson, he's into the sand. You can't do that. You'll lose control. And they know that. You got to take extreme risks here. And Adam Velasco, this is where you make it up right now. Right now, this is where you got to make it up. You got to pull in or pull out, and you just got to go for broke. And let's see what they do. They're going to gun and go as fast as they can. You see Keith Novick, number 56, John Galante from Butler, number 14, but let's see what they do. Galante has been running. He's not been easily lapped. He's very aggressive and not letting anybody past him. But the battle for third is a big one. And it looks like Novick is going to get past Galante. And it looks like Josh Johnson is also going to get past Galante. And Velasco is trailing. It looks like everybody's getting past Galante. He's not set up for the sand. Oh, Galante throws himself in front of Velasco. He goes, no. These two might be 3 and 4, but I'm not letting anybody else pass me. Velasco's a big pass for Galante. So Keith Novick, Josh Johnson, John Galante behind Josh Johnson, and Adam Velasco from Arizona. So Keith Novick looking pretty good here in number 3. Now, going to the front, Koran has... let's take a look a little bit over Country Dock, and here's the reason. Koran is in the bright pink in the very front. Country Dock has a couple slow cars between him and Koran. Now, when they go to the sand, you're going to see Country Dock try and speed it up and pass one of these cars. We're on lap 55 of 65. We got 10 to go. So this is coming to the end here. You got 10 laps to go. You got to dispose with some of these slower cars. There's John Geist, number 87. Geist is right in the middle of him and Oldfield, 87 and 62. Geist is 16th and Oldfield is 17th. It's a battle within a battle. So here comes Country Dock. He's going to the outside of John Oldfield. And he's going to gain some seconds on Michael Koran. Michael Koran, the race leader for most of today. I don't want to say he's dominated because of the way it is, but you got Nate Butler coming up. Nate with a damaged car. He's going to be a slow one. You can see he gets one out, and Country Dock gets one up. And going into the pits, there's people going into the pits here. It is tough with 10 laps to go. You also have to think about a fuel and a pit strategy because you know you got to get in there. So Michael Koran with 5 laps to go. We're going to focus in on the battles. Right now, 1, 2 are up for grabs. 3 and 4 up for grabs. 5 and 6. It looks like they're pairing right down the statistics here, the standings. But you got slow cars getting in the way. Koran is first, number 23, and Country Dock, number 29, is second. So Koran getting ahead, but now he's got Nate Butler up there. And Nate's going to slow him down. I'm really thinking the sand, if they can come up. Now you got Spencer Kale. This will be very interesting because you got a lot of slow cars. You got to start weaving in and out of traffic. And that's going to help. Look at Keith Novick. And they are cutting seconds off. They're cutting a lot of seconds off at least second place. But here's Koran against Nate Butler, and you can see him in the picture. So now we're getting about 4 cars that are close, and this is lap number 56. This drag strip right here is going to determine a lot. So Koran again, he can't get past Butler. Country Doc will go as fast as he can. Keith Novick and Josh Johnson back there jockeying for position. Koran wants to go past Butler, and he does. Country Doc having trouble against John Geist. Nate Butler will, right now he is way back there. He's a couple laps back. In fact, Nate Butler is number 27th. Brent Simmons is only 3 laps back, so he's past John Galante. And I'm telling you what, right now, Brent Simmons is going to make a push here. He's 3 laps back, but that wouldn't surprise me if he gets on the lap behind and he finishes about 20 to 25th. It would not surprise me with the way he's running today. He's running very well today whenever he's on the course. It's just those pit incidents that have really crushed him. So Koran again, he's ahead. Country Doc again trying to fight the slower cars now. Nate Butler and John Geist have formed kind of a wall, and Matt Koran is going ahead of this wall. You can't get past these two. Look at Country Doc going out of his skull trying to pass John Geist. And Nate Butler, the slower cars, and he does. He gets by Butler. He gets the inside track, which is very big. Now he's got to get past Geist. If he gets past Geist, it's just him and Koran. But you also have Keith Novick and Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson, number 4, and Keith Novick going back for this battle. This is a big one as Country Doc here. Nate Butler. But here's Keith Novick and Josh Johnson. This is going to be interesting looking at this drag strip that they have coming down. I'm wondering if there's going to be another pit stop. You wonder about that. Josh Johnson and Keith Novick. I wish I had a beat on how much fuel that they had. But this is going to be very big as Novick and Johnson can't get the slipstream behind. They just gonna go as fast as they can. Both with very fast cars, but now they're coming up against Nate Butler. 3 worlds collide here. Michigan/China, Pennsylvania, and Yanbu/New Jersey. And it looks like Novick and Johnson will get past Butler. It's big for Johnson to do it before they get to the curbs. And now they're right behind Country Doc as Nate Butler will come back. 5th and 6th, the big one. Mullins and McMinn. I can't believe, you look at, the biggest thing is this. You look at Mullins and McMinn. Galante here, Emilio here, Sammy. Here's Mullins and McMinn. This is for 4th and 5th. And right now, there's a lot of points. There's that crucial points. Everybody says, well, 34 seconds back, you're not running well, or it's a blowout. No, this is not sports. This is not the Denver Broncos playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl when it's 55-10, and you're like, oh, they're down big, so let's not watch. When you're talking about championships, this is very important. You're looking at points right now that will transfer. They're all, what it boils down to is the last race in Indianapolis. And that's where the championships were going to really be won, when you have all these even racers here. And when you win battles like this, that's huge. That is absolutely gigantic. If you can win a battle like this, that's a position now you don't have to do in Indy. So Bryce McMinn and Chris Mullins. Bryce McMinn on the inside. He hits a little bit of the sand. And Bryce now against Molly. Mullins from Ohio. McMinn from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Now lives in Bethel Park. He's a pastor. Wish him well. Definitely do, both of them. Mullins in Taiwan right now. I talked with him in Beijing. And he's working really well. He is battling Bryce McMinn. Now they're kind of too far away for anything else. Really, number 7. Number 7. 7th position, which is Mark Cunningham, number 12. He is 50 seconds back. So, I mean, we take a look at this. Oldfield, Velasco, Bandi number 22. There's Cunningham. Cunningham 50 seconds back. But yet Brian Lippert has not been having a great race today. Brian Lippert number 3. He's 20-30s a lap down. He's actually made some really great headway. And Brian Lippert might even pass Mark Cunningham here. They got it right in their pits. He started off way, way, way behind. But he's making a comeback here, and it's not going to last too long because we only got 6 laps left. And, you know, 1 or 2 you could say they could wreck, but right now, you know, but he's made a great comeback. He's 23rd, and he gets those points. When you talk about championships, that's big. Nick Leahy out of Australia, this is what we were talking about now. He is now 8th. He's 56 seconds back. He might catch up to Mark Cunningham. And that would be big for points. Again, 13 races. Any sort of points you get are gigantic. Because it all boils down to Indianapolis. I don't think anybody would have been clinching by Indianapolis. Not with even drivers. You're not going to have a dominant driver winning like 4 or 5 races unless everybody wrecks. You might have a dominant driver and then everybody's finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We're going to broadcast all 13 no matter what. But Koran again is ahead with 5 laps to go. Matt Brinker is down here. He's number 16th. He's number 9 in the slots. He's 5 seconds ahead of Steve Eshenbaugh, but it's a little bit less than that. That's Eshenbaugh in the background. You can see. I'm not sure that that's 5 seconds, as they say. That's got to be less than 5 seconds. I mean, from this curve, let's see. 1, 2, no, it's about 5 seconds. I can see that. But Matt Brinker a minute behind the leader, but in the top 10. So he looks good so far. I mean, going into the next race, that'll be big. Eshenbaugh involved in the incident in the pits. I don't think it cost him much time. Here's Michael Powell. Michael Powell, number 35 from Arizona. He's 11th. He is yo-yoed back and forth because of the pit strategies and stuff like that. But he's run a solid race. And he is right now, number 35, Michael Powell. He is 5 seconds behind. As you can see, number 12 and 13 are way back there, but number 14 is number 82. And there's Sam Hopper. There's Brooke Warren. Warren went in and out of the pits very easily. Warren will pass Hopper. Hopper is actually 2 laps back. He's very consistent, but he's 28th, so he took that early incident. He has a damage. Look at that back damage everywhere, and it hurts on a speedway where you have to gun it and hope for your best. But Warren is 25th now. Started off back, got a few spaces back and forth, a little bit of strategy, a little bit of back and forth here. So Warren, number 79 in some test races, she was in the top 5, but of course when you have no hood, look at that damage. When you have no hood, you know that you took some damage in the race, and you know, it's damage that we missed. You know, I don't know what happened there, but whatever happened, happened. Can't catch it all, especially when I'm a one-person crew. And Paul Slovick, number 9, he is 12th. So 12th place, 20 seconds behind the 11th place, number 35. So, I mean, it is what it is there. When you're 20 seconds behind, you're kind of on an island. What do you do? Brent Simmons there is out. That's Michael Paul. 20 seconds behind Michael Paul. What do? You're just coasting right now. Don't wreck. And there's Doug Sandra. 4 laps to go. We're going to go right now. I mean, this is big. You have a lot of racing to go here, but Koran, who's number 23. We want to go to him. So trying to cycle forward. There he is, Koran. So this is the whole deal. You have Koran. You have Koran, and then you have Keith Novick, who's 4 seconds behind. Country Doc is now 6 seconds behind. He lost that lead, and it's really top three. Mullins is 37, so Mullins and Bryce McMinn are in a real battle. Koran will be taking on here first place. There's an opening between him and open ground. And this is going for lap number 62 of 65. It should be coming up here soon. I don't know when that changes. I really don't know where the start finish. There it is. The start finish line is very ambiguous. We have open space. William Mullins, number 45, a slower car. Of course, he's 4 years old. He's behind everybody else. And Michael Koran is opening up a lead. Spencer Kale and William Mullins are right behind him, slower cars. And Keith Novick is, I can tell you this much right now, knowing Keith, he's screaming out of his mind, you're slower, get the heck out of the way, you are a slower car. I can see him right now, I can envision this. He is going nuts. Imagine a northern New Jersey driver with two people slower in the fast lane. And that's what you got with Keith. Michael Koran is in the lead. But we got to see Keith, because right now Keith is 5 seconds ahead. And right now he's 5 seconds ahead of Country Doc. And Country Doc right now is 8 seconds behind. There's Country Doc and Keith. So you can see it here, Keith Novick trying to get ahead of the two slow cars. And it looks like Novick will. And now he's going to try and slipstream behind Koran. Well, that's the biggest thing you got to draft in the last 3 laps. Oh, this is going to be big. It looks like Mullins has dropped to 1 minute and 1 back. Something must have happened with Chris Mullins. Something must have happened with him and Bryce McMinn. Mullins, number 54, he has dropped back. So right now it is McMinn. And this is Keith Novick now in the last 3 laps. Rocha, Butler, Pham. There's McMinn. And McMinn against, who was this, Sammy Gonzales? No. McMinn against Cunningham. Cunningham is 6. And it looks like McMinn is going into the pits. It looks like we might have to pit. And it looks like Bryce McMinn is going into the pits. So he's going to lose a lot. I'm not sure about gas mileage and all these other cars. But Bryce McMinn goes into the pits, and he's hoping that it's a quick splash and go. And it is, but he lost a lot of time here. That's probably what happened. Josh Johnson, number 41, number 44, he is 4th. I'm interested. Is Koran, now Koran, there's Country Doc number, he's 11 seconds back. And I'm wondering, here's Keith Novick, who's 3 seconds back, trying to use some slipstream. And here's Koran, he's got slower traffic in front of him. There's 3 laps to go. And Michael Koran heading for trying to get the first win of this year. Michael Koran against Doug Sandra. And Koran's got to get past Sandra. The hard part is there's slower traffic in front of Koran. Keith Novick could come back and seal this victory. It's all going to be on the curbs right now, whether he can do it. There's going to be 2 more laps after this one. Koran against Sandra. Keith Novick in the background. Koran's got to slow down for Doug Sandra. He can't get to the inside. So he's got to stay behind Sandra, and that's going to mean Novick can come back. There's nobody between Novick and Koran. And let's see if he gains any time. He's at 3:48 now. And Koran again. Sandra goes to the outside, lets him go ahead. He's got 2 other ones, no. And Keith Novick goes to 4:49. He's behind by a second. So Michael Koran looking good. 2 more laps to go. 64 now. The next one will be 65. I don't know if Keith Novick can get him. It's 4:49 here. trying to use any sort of a slipstream. And no traffic. And now Doug Sandra puts himself between Koran and Novick, though that could give you a little bit if you want to push hard and use their slipstream to go fast, but it looks like Novick won't make it. There's a lot of differences here. Doug Sandra, Michael Koran, Novick in the back again looking. And Michael Koran again. He's pushing hard. He leads by 4.5 seconds. He's going to go into the final lap. I'm hoping he has enough fuel. If he doesn't have enough fuel, it's going to be ugly. But here's Sam Hopper. They got 2 cars. If Koran can pass him, he's going to win this race. If he can pass him on his beach strip. If not, this final lap could be interesting because Warren and Hopper have been battling in the last few laps, and they're not going to give anybody any sort of shot here. They want the extra points for themselves, and they slow down here. Michael Koran, and we're in the final lap. This is it. Can Koran hold on? He has a 4-second lead over Novick. Sandra is the only one between Koran and Novick, the slower car. And Michael Koran again behind 2 cars. Let's see what Novick does. Koran to the inside, trying to get past everybody. If he gets past them, it's all over. And passing Warren, I think it's pretty much over now. And I'm going to call it unless he wrecks, he's going to win. Oh, there was a... Warren came inside. I'm sure it was a little nail biting. If you're a fan of Michael Koran from Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, about one of the biggest Western Pennsylvania fans of sports. That's why his name is in black and gold. He has a pink car though, and he's heading towards victory. There's nobody near him. Boy, he would really have to blow. It would be an all-time choke if he didn't win this one. He's up by 5.5 seconds. I'm looking by any other stretch. Everybody's going to finish. The battles are going to be Koran will finish first, Novick second, and Country Doc will finish third, unless, of course, there's a wreck. Josh Johnson fourth. Cunningham, that's a big one. As Cunningham is in a race here for fifth. Also, McMinn and Mullins again. 1 minute and 5 seconds. 7th and 8th, that's going to be a big one. As Michael Koran, we're going to go to that one right there. That'll be the best one to watch as they're tenths of seconds away for the battle for 7th place. Michael Koran is going to win the first race of the season. 65 laps. The sandy beaches of Daytona, and Michael Koran wins it. He wins it all. He finishes first. And now we're going to go to McMinn. So Bryce McMinn now, we're going to go here. McMinn now is facing Mullins. This is a big one. McMinn and Mullins are going to finish. They got to finish it out. McMinn and Mullins, here it is. McMinn past Bandi. It looks like McMinn is going to take 7th place. Mullins looking like he's trying to take 8th, but here he is. He's slipstreaming. They got Lippert in front of him, and he's going slow. So he's got a chance to make a pass here in the drag strip. McMinn is going to try and block him off. This is for 7th place. A big points boost for the winner of this. They go near the curve. McMinn leading. McMinn, Mullins, he's got one shot to get to the inside. McMinn is not giving it to him. And Bandi's pass is meaningless. But Bryce McMinn takes 7th. 7th place here. And Steve Bandi, Chris Mullins will take 8th. A lot of other players are finishing now. Some have already finished, especially the ones 1, 2, 3, 4 laps back. The hardest to take all day, I really believe it, the hardest to take all day was Brent Simmons. Brent Simmons was driving so well, and he had 2 incidents in the pits. I mean, seriously, it is one of those where it's hard to take. there's the final standings as cars are finishing. I pretty much believe those are going to be the final standings as Koran takes first. As you look at McMinn go into the pits, Koran first place, he's the winner. Novick second, he's 6 seconds back. Country Doc slid way back there. I'm not sure what happened too much with him. Maybe it was pits or whatever. Josh Johnson fourth, not bad. He was 36 seconds back. Cunningham was fifth, 57 seconds. Nick Leahy is sixth. He was a minute back. And McMinn, Nick Leahy gets sixth. That was very big. He came all the way back from behind. When you qualify poorly and you do that, that's how you win championships. So Nick Leahy is sixth. Bryce McMinn is seventh. Seventh is Bryce McMinn. Eighth is Mullins. 9 is Brinker. So Matt Brinker a top 10. And that's pretty good. When you're in the top 10 consistently, you're going to have a shot. Steve Eshenbaugh is 10th. Michael Paul 11th. Doug Sandra, we really didn't call his name. He led the pack of drivers that Doug Sandra led the pack of drivers that were one lap down. John Geist, we really didn't call him either. William Mullins gotten away a lot. That's about it. John Geist, we had a little bit of him, and later in the middle part of the race. Spencer Kale came all the way back. He qualified. Take a look at this, qualifications. Qualifying, you take a look at Spencer Kale. Spencer Kale qualified 32nd. So at 32nd was Spencer Kale, and for him to go from 32nd all the way to 15th was a big, big boost. That was it. Paul Slovick is 16th. That's the halfway as Amelia Rocha is 17th. UFAM, we didn't really say his name too much, but he was 18th. Not too bad mid-table. And then you go to John Oldfield and Sammy Gonzales. I barely even said Sammy Gonzales' name. He's 20th. And Adam Velasco, we started to talk about him. He's 21st, as everybody is now going into the pits here. Mike Kilroy, the Butler Eagle, he is 22nd. A run a little disappointing. Brian Lippert really was back all day. It really didn't get going. It's just not his track. And no real incidents, I don't believe, that I saw. Steve Bandi, he is 24th. He's number 22 on the grounds. He finishes out the lap back bunch. And then we get a couple people going back. These are the ones that would like to run us over. Warren again got to the back of the pack, ended up with no hood. No hood on the car. Nate Butler was back a little bit. He's 26. Scotty Schultz, he was leading a lot, and then Scotty Schultz, I don't know what happened to him. He just faded back, and I barely saw him. He ended up 2 laps back. Usually an incident happens whenever you get back that way, or an incident at pits or something to that effect. I happen to see Brent Simmons out of my eyes. And Brent, I'll tell you what, 3 laps back, that's a hard pill to swallow whenever you drive so well and you get 2 incidents in the pits. And that was unique. I don't know what happened with Galante. He was four laps back, and he didn't have any damage. It's just not his track. Just not his track. And that's exactly what you see here. So that's going to be it. Really, when you take a look at this, the stats in standing 2 hours and about 2 hours, 10 minutes. And there you see the podium. The winner to this, very simply, Matt Koran. Matt Koran wins in the 23rd car. And the point standings, you can see all the way down. Novick and Country Doc. They go down. You get laps led. Country Doc led a lap. Novick didn't. That's why Country Doc is tied with Novick. Johnson, Cunningham, Leahy, and then you start going up into the 4s, 7 through 11, and then 11 on. You only lose 3 points per position. But that's the biggest part. Top 10, a lot of the good points here. And looking at the standings again, the standings are big. As you have Koran first. Koran pretty good here. he's up first. Novick again. Look at the bonus points, though. That is the biggest thing. Novick and Doc, he was a leader for, he led laps. Laps led. Koran led 38 of the laps. Country Doc led for 6. And when you take a look at the races led, number of races that they actually led, they get, of course, a point there. I'm just curious with Scotty Schultz. Scotty Schultz went all the way down here. He did have 15 laps led. I'm just not sure what happened with him. You got a one-man crew and we got 33 drivers. It's just all, it is what it is. Sam Hopper, 29th in points. I really think that's a big one. Sam was able, after that early incident, to right his car, and by keeping on driving, by sticking with it, he beat John Galante and Brandon Powell. So that's very big when you can do that, when you can gain positions. He has 79 total points. Ronald Ray, he's a great guy. He just didn't get a lot of... He got caught up in that first incident, and that was it. And all three of them just retired because they had a lot of damage to their car, and they couldn't do it all. So after 65 total laps, one of 13 events, you see right now the top 5, Koran, Novick, Country Doc, Josh Johnson, and Mike Cunningham. So, at the end of one race of 13... what a race. It's going to be the way it is. You focus on the front, you go to the middle, sometimes in the back you get a little bit. But when these long races, you can only focus on so much. And that's going to be it for us. So after one of 13 races, Matt Koran leads the points total. Keith Novick, 2nd. Country Doc, 3rd. Josh Johnson, 4th. Mike Cunningham, 5th. Nick Leahy, 6th. Bryce McMinn, 7th. Chris Mullins, 8th. Matt Brinker, 9th. And Steve Eshenbaugh, 10th. Watch for all the standings, the stats, the statistics on our Facebook post tonight. Facebook, we're going to go in-depth into the race. We're going to give you all the statistics in a printout. And it's going to be it's going to be kind of a recap. But it'll be fun to read and stuff that you can flip through. Highlights and really not a lot of lowlights, a couple of them, but a lot of highlights to this race. Matt Koran wins. We're going to see you tomorrow. It's a short track race. Oh, it's going to be unique. It's going to be the Autodrome 400 laps tomorrow. I wonder if anybody's going to survive that one. We probably should have a lot of survivors here. But we'll see you tomorrow.